Are you forgetting to stockpile these items? I don't know. Let's take a look. What are these items you're talking about, Morgan? I don't know. Let's watch and find out. Hey everyone, Morgan here. Let's go ahead and talk about essential items that you're forgetting to stockpile. So, trash bags. I think trash bags are invaluable. You can use them for just so many things. Like trash, but so many other things, right? Like I did a video like way back in the day about making a little poncho with a trash bag. Hey, listen, it worked. Okay, I like had it around my whole head. I was covered from the rain. It worked. Okay, so trash bags are pretty versatile. You can do a lot of stuff with them. Definitely stock up on those. We do Costco trash bags. You can do the like contractor, the really thick trash bags. Oh yeah, that's the stuff right there. Real thick. Next is batteries. I actually just did a run on batteries from Amazon. I got AAA and AA. Those are pretty much the only batteries used. I also got rechargeable. So I do disposable and rechargeable batteries. Batteries should be stored in ideal conditions, anywhere from 55 to like 80 degrees. They really shouldn't be stored in super freezing or super hot. That can really degrade them. So keep them in ideal conditions as best as possible. If it says it could last 10 years in storage, if you keep them in ideal conditions, they could actually last 10 years in storage, right? A manual can opener, or 2 or 3. We actually just had to replace our old one because it just wasn't working for some reason. It just literally stopped, like cutting into cans and opening them. I do not know why. So ever since then, I decided to have a few extra on hand because while we have those little manual can openers like on our multi-tool and stuff, like I have, I like the manual can openers that you spin and stuff like that. The P38s or whatever they're called, I have a picture up here. Those are really great to have. Of course, there's lots of ways. I could just take a knife and stab into the can, right? But I don't wanna. I want something quick and easy and less effort as possible, okay? Least amount of effort. Okay, so the next one is extra glasses and contacts. If you wear glasses or contacts, you need to have extra. Contacts they will go bad after a while. Like I had some contacts that were just stored for a while and I opened it and like all the liquid was gone. But it was like completely sealed. I'm not sure how that happened. It couldn't have been completely sealed, right? But it was so strange and that those contacts were useless, right? So I don't store as many extra contacts. If you are going to store extra contacts, store like a year or two worth, not too much longer than that. Extra glasses though, I keep every old pair of glasses. Even if my prescription has changed just a little bit, that old pair will be fine. And so, whenever I get a new one, I keep the old ones. Same for my kids. We all wear glasses, our whole family. And so we'll always keep the old ones whenever we get new ones. And we buy the new pairs from like Firmoo and stuff like that, where it's like, 20 or 30 bucks for a pair of glasses and we can get extras, whenever we want. So get those extra glasses, keep them, right? Over-the-counter medications. A lot of people just usually have like, one bottle of acetaminophen, let's say, and then they don't have anything extra. Well, I don't use a ton of medications all the time. It's not like we're just popping medications all the time. But, sometimes when you need it, like especially with like cold medicine, when you need it, you use that cold medicine because usually you're using it like, once or twice a day, until you feel better, depending on what the cold or flu or, whatever the ailment is. So that bottle can go by pretty fast. So I like to have a couple extra on hand and just make sure that we have it on hand for, like a year or two. It'll be fine past the expiration, especially if it's been sealed for a good probably year or two, depending. But I like to just restock and rotate as often as I can and just make sure that I have plenty on hand. So pet supplies. So I'm super sad to announce that we had to put both of our dogs down recently. They were super old and there were a lot of issues, whatever. Always keep extra pet supplies for them. First aid, any medications they may need, and as well as, of course, their water dishes, keep them clean, and then extra food for them. Dog food itself will only last anywhere from 6 months to a year in the original bag. It's so greasy, the dry dog food. You may want to consider learning how to make your own. A lot of the canned foods that you already have, canned chicken, canned meats, with some added canned veggies, you can easily make your own dog food like that. But you have to make sure that you are having the extra food just for them, right? And same for cats too. I have a blog post down below that talks about alternative foods for animals. That's not just, commercial pet food, but extra pet food and extra medications and stuff like that. So the next one is feminine hygiene products. If you are a female or a female or you live with a female, you should probably have some extra feminine hygiene products. Any type of feminine hygiene product that you want and need, store it, right? Especially if you get really bad cramps, that's where the over-the-counter medications come in, right? You're going to want some extra of that. If you want like a heating pad, stuff like that, make sure that you have all that on hand. Tape. So I like Gorilla Tape. I think it is the best tape in the whole world. Even duct tape, like people love duct tape. I hate it because I feel like it just doesn't stick on anything. Like I use it and I'm like, okay, it comes off 2 seconds later. Gorilla Tape doesn't come off. You put it somewhere, it's freaking on there, unless you're in like super freezing temps, then no tape works. Okay, it's neither here nor there. So tape in general, so we have lots of tape. We have, Gorilla Tape. We do have some duct tape, begrudgingly. My husband likes it. And then we have just like Scotch tape. My kids do a ton of crafts. So we have all kinds of different tapes to make repairs or for crafts or whatever. A sewing kit. So I actually just got our kids 2 of these little sewing kits. They're perfect. They're great little hand sewing kits, and they have actually taught my kids, because they have access to their own sewing gear now, they love to just sew stuff together now. And so they just grab that little kit. But we have a sewing kits as well as lots of thread and needles and all these things. Plus we have a sewing machine, we can plug it into one of our solar generators if we need to sew, that kind of thing. But you can repair so many things if you know how to sew. So have a sewing kit and then learn to sew by hand. All right, the next one is water purification. So really any water purification, tablets, filters, the camping, pump filters, any of these things, any water purification options, I want you to stockpile them, okay? The tablets are good because they're small and lightweight, but they do have a shelf life. Anything with tablet form generally has a shorter shelf life than something like the filters, in which you leave them packaged and dried. They'll be good for years, right? The sleeping bag. People don't stock up enough on sleeping bags. And I'm not talking about stocking up on a million sleeping bags. I'm talking about just getting like one really good 0-degree sleeping bag, because it can be invaluable when it comes to keeping you warm. If the lights go out and you need a little extra warmth, the 0-degree sleeping bags will keep you super warm. You can layer it up with like some extra blankets or something, but those 0-degree sleeping bags, they're super warm. They're coming out with super lightweight ones. Like when we got ours are like huge, and they're nice, but they're humongous. So they're coming out with some lighter weight, smaller ones that are made for 0-degree weather. Some of them will even go for negative temps. So just look around and find a 0-degree sleeping bag for everyone in the family, to bundle up in case you ever need to. If you, not just for camping, but for at home, like during power outages and stuff in the winter. They're great to have. And then the last one is a Silcock key. Very few people have this, but it is a key that can give you access to water on the outside of buildings in an emergency. And I have to say in an emergency over and over and over again, because I don't want you just walking up to random buildings and, taking that water. People get very offended by that. But it's only for emergency purposes. So you take this Silcock key, you go to a local business, and you can use the Silcock key to get the water out. It is a great tool to have. You only need like a couple, right? One for each family member maybe. And you can go and use it and fill up a bucket or something and then go home, right? But it's nice for urban areas. Pretty much any business will have it on the outside, but only use it for emergencies, okay? If you liked this video, please be sure to like or comment or both. It really helps the channel. Thank you all so much for watching. That helps a lot too. These can very easily be overlooked, but what are some other things that you feel like are overlooked preps that you think everybody should stock up on? Comment down below and let me know. Thank you all so much for watching. Conquer tomorrow by preparing today. I'll talk to you later. Bye.